My stepdad's daughter ruined my birthday trip, then tried to blame me for her own mistake. Now I'm questioning everything. Hello, everyone. So I am Emma, and I just turned 25 last month. My mom, Sarah, remarried when I was 16. My stepdad is named Tom, and he has a daughter, Chloe, who is now 21. For context, my dad passed away when I was young, so I was happy when my mom found happiness again with Tom. Tom is a nice guy, generally, and I appreciate him. However, there's always been this undercurrent of tension, mostly because of Chloe. From the moment they got serious, it was clear that Chloe was the golden child. I know it sounds cliché, but it's true. Whatever Chloe wanted, Chloe got. If Chloe made a mistake, it was brushed under the rug. If I even slightly stepped out of line, it was a whole lecture. It's been like this for years, and honestly, I've mostly learned to tune it out. I live on my own now, have a good job as a graphic designer, and try to keep my interactions with my step-family pleasant but limited. However, my mom really wanted us all to spend my 25th birthday together. She suggested a weekend trip to a nearby beach town. Initially, I was hesitant because Chloe would be there, and past family trips have been, well, let's just say they were not always relaxing for me. But Mom was really excited, saying it would be a good bonding experience, and she even offered to pay for everything as my birthday gift. Plus, she promised it would be different this time. Famous last words, right? So we planned the trip for last weekend. It was supposed to be Mom, Tom, Chloe, and me. We booked a cute little beach house, and Mom made reservations at a nice seafood restaurant for my birthday dinner. Everything seemed set. I even started to get a little excited. Maybe, just maybe, this trip would actually be fun and drama-free. I should have known better. The trouble started almost as soon as we arrived at the beach house. We got there on Friday afternoon. The house was nice, but there were only 2 bedrooms. Okay, no big deal, I thought. I figured Mom and Tom would take 1 bedroom and Chloe and I would share the other. That seemed fair, but no. Chloe immediately announced that she was taking the master bedroom with the en-suite bathroom. Just like that. No asking, no discussion. She just declared it. I was a little taken aback, to be honest. I looked at Mom, expecting her to say something, to maybe suggest that she and Tom take the master bedroom, or at least that Chloe and I could decide together. But Mom just kind of shrugged and said, "Oh, well, I guess Chloe really likes the bigger room." Tom didn't say anything at all. He just nodded along. I was already feeling that familiar frustration bubbling up inside me. It was like, here we go again. So Chloe got the master bedroom. I ended up in the smaller bedroom, which was fine, but it was definitely not as nice. It had twin beds and a tiny bathroom down the hall. Not exactly the birthday weekend I was picturing, but I tried to let it go. I unpacked my things, trying to stay positive. We were at the beach after all. It should be fun, right? That evening we went out for dinner at a casual place by the pier. It was okay, but Chloe spent the whole time on her phone, barely talking to anyone. She was texting and scrolling through social media, occasionally laughing at something on her screen but not sharing it with us. It felt very isolating. Mom tried to engage her in conversation, asking about her college classes and her friends, but Chloe would just give short, monosyllabic answers and then go right back to her phone. I tried to make conversation too, talking about my work and some recent projects I was excited about. Mom seemed interested, but Chloe was completely zoned out. Tom was mostly quiet, just observing everything. It was kind of awkward. I was hoping things would improve the next day, which was actually my birthday. Saturday, my actual birthday, started off okay. We had breakfast at the beach house. Mom made pancakes and bacon, which was really sweet. She even got a small birthday cake, which was thoughtful. We sang happy birthday, and I opened a few small gifts. It was nice, but again, Chloe seemed completely disinterested. She didn't even sing happy birthday. She just sat there scrolling on her phone, occasionally glancing up like she was tolerating us. After breakfast, Mom suggested we go to the beach. It was a beautiful day, sunny and warm. I was actually looking forward to it. I put on my swimsuit, grabbed my beach bag, and headed out with everyone. We found a good spot on the sand, set up our towels and chairs, and Mom and Tom went for a walk along the shoreline. Chloe and I were left alone on the beach. And that's when things really went downhill. Chloe, instead of maybe trying to be a little bit social or even just polite, decided to blast music from her phone. Loud music. Like, so loud that I could barely hear myself think. It was some kind of techno music with a heavy beat, definitely not beach vibes. I tried to ignore it at first, hoping she would turn it down. But she didn't. She just kept turning it up louder and louder. People around us started to look over, giving us annoyed glances. I was getting embarrassed. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. I said, "Chloe, could you please turn that down? It's really loud." She looked at me like I had just insulted her personally. "Excuse me?" she said in this really sarcastic tone. "I'm just listening to music." "Yeah, I know," I said, "but it's really loud and we're on a public beach. Maybe you could use headphones." "Headphones?" she scoffed. "You know, headphones are so uncomfortable. Besides, I like sharing my music." "Sharing?" I said, raising my eyebrows. "I don't think anyone else on this beach wants to hear your music." "Look around, Chloe. People are staring at us." She just rolled her eyes. "Whatever, Emma, you're just being a buzzkill. It's my vacation too, you know. I can listen to music if I want to. It's a public beach, Chloe," I repeated, trying to keep my voice calm. "It's about being considerate of other people." "Oh my God, you're so uptight," she said, turning up the volume even louder. "I swear you're always trying to ruin my fun." "Ruin your fun?" I said, my voice starting to rise. "I'm not trying to ruin your fun. I'm just asking you to be respectful of other people. And it's my birthday, by the way. Maybe you could try to be a little bit considerate for once." She just glared at me. "You're so dramatic," she muttered. "It's just music." At that point, Mom and Tom came back from their walk. They could obviously hear the music, and they could see that Chloe and I were arguing. Mom looked at us concerned. "What's going on?" she asked. Chloe immediately launched into victim mode. "Emma is being mean to me," she whined. "She's telling me I can't listen to my music. She's ruining my beach day." Mom turned to me with this look of slight disappointment. "Emma, is there a problem?" she asked. I couldn't believe it. She was already taking Chloe's side without even hearing my side of the story. I felt my anger flare up. "Mom, she's blasting music so loud that everyone around us is annoyed," I said, trying to explain. "I just asked her to turn it down or use headphones. That's it." Mom sighed. "Chloe, honey, maybe you could turn it down just a little bit," she said in this soft, placating voice. "See," Chloe said triumphantly, turning to me. "Even Mom thinks you're overreacting, but Mom didn't say I was overreacting. She just asked Chloe to turn it down a little." It was such a weak response. It felt like she was trying to appease Chloe, as always, without actually addressing the issue. Chloe, of course, didn't turn it down much. She just lowered the volume a tiny bit, so it was still loud and annoying, but technically a little quieter. She gave me this smug look like she had won. I was so frustrated. I just wanted to enjoy my birthday, but Chloe was making it impossible. I decided to just remove myself from the situation. I grabbed my towel and beach bag. "I'm going for a walk," I said, and I stood up and walked away. I needed to cool off. I walked down the beach, away from my family, trying to calm down. I was so angry and upset. It was supposed to be a nice birthday trip, and Chloe had already managed to ruin it within the first few hours of my actual birthday. I walked for a long time, just staring at the ocean, trying to clear my head. After about an hour, I felt a little better. I decided to walk back to where we were sitting. Maybe things had calmed down. Maybe Chloe had finally put on headphones or turned off the music. As I got closer, I could still hear music, but it was much quieter. Okay, maybe she actually listened, I thought, with a sliver of hope. But as I got closer, I realized it wasn't Chloe's music. It was coming from a different direction, and Chloe was nowhere to be seen. Mom and Tom were still there, sitting on their chairs, looking relaxed. Mom waved when she saw me. "Hey, honey," she said, "everything okay?" Yeah, I said, still feeling a little tense. Where's Chloe? Oh, she went back to the beach house, Mom said casually. She said she wasn't feeling well. Wasn't feeling well, I repeated, confused. She seemed fine just now. Well, she said she had a headache, Mom explained, and she wanted to take a nap. So she went back to the house. I stared at Mom, speechless. Chloe had thrown a tantrum because I asked her to turn down her music, and now she was pretending to be sick so she could go back to the beach house and sulk. And Mom was just letting her get away with it. Seriously. I said, my voice rising again. She's not sick, Mom, she's just being dramatic. She's probably back at the house listening to her music even louder. Mom sighed again. Emma, please don't start, she said. It's your birthday. Let's just try to enjoy the rest of the day, okay? Chloe will be back later. No, Mom, it's not okay, I said, my frustration boiling over. She's always like this. She always gets her way. And you and Tom just let her. It's not fair. Mom looked at me, her expression hardening slightly. Emma, don't talk to me like that, she said. Chloe is just a little sensitive, and she wasn't feeling well. You need to be more understanding. Understanding? I scoffed. Understanding of what? Of her being spoiled and entitled and always getting her way. I'm always understanding, Mom. I'm always the one who has to be understanding. But no one ever seems to understand me. I felt tears welling up in my eyes. I turned around and walked away again, this time heading back towards the beach house. I couldn't believe how unfair everything was. It was supposed to be my birthday, and it was turning into a disaster, all because of Chloe and her constant need for attention, and her parents' refusal to ever hold her accountable for anything. When I got back to the beach house, the front door was unlocked. I walked inside and I could hear music coming from the master bedroom. Yup, just as I suspected. Chloe was not napping. She was in the master bedroom, blasting music. I walked down the hall and stood outside the master bedroom door. I could hear the music clearly through the door. I knocked. No answer. I knocked again, louder. Still no answer. I opened the door and walked in. Chloe was lying on the bed on her phone with her headphones in. She didn't even notice me come in. I walked over to the bed and tapped her on the shoulder. She jumped, startled, and ripped her headphones off. What the heck, Emma? She said, annoyed. What are you doing in here? Don't you know how to knock? I did knock, Chloe, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. You just didn't hear me because your music is so loud. So, she said, rolling her eyes. What do you want? Can't you see I'm trying to relax? Relax, I said, incredulous. You're relaxing. You stormed off the beach, pretended to be sick, and now you're blasting music in here. That's your idea of relaxing. Yeah, it is, she said defensively. What's it to you? I have a headache, okay? I need to relax. Oh, you have a headache, I said, my sarcasm dripping. Funny, you seemed perfectly fine when you were blasting music on the beach. Or when you were throwing a tantrum, because I asked you to turn it down. She glared at me. Just leave me alone, Emma, she said. I don't want to talk to you. No, Chloe, I said, standing my ground. We are going to talk, because I am sick and tired of your behavior. I am sick and tired of you always getting your way. And I am especially sick and tired of how Mom and Tom always let you get away with everything. She scoffed. Oh, here we go, the jealousy speech, she said. I knew it was coming. You're just jealous because Mom and Dad love me more than they love you. I stared at her, shocked. Did she really just say that? I know, Tom isn't actually my dad, but she always calls him Dad, and it's like she tries to erase my dad completely. It's so hurtful. That's not true, I said, my voice trembling slightly. And even if it were, that's not the point. The point is, you are incredibly selfish and inconsiderate, and you always act like the world revolves around you. And Mom and Tom enable it, she just smirked. Well, maybe the world does revolve around me, she said. Have you ever considered that? I couldn't believe the arrogance. I just stared at her, feeling a mix of anger and sadness. It was like talking to a brick wall. She was completely incapable of seeing anyone else's perspective. You know what, Chloe? I said finally. I'm done. I'm done trying to be nice to you. I'm done trying to have a relationship with you. You are impossible. And frankly, I don't even like you. And you know what else? I continued, my voice rising again. This whole trip was supposed to be for my birthday, and you've managed to ruin it, just like you always ruin everything." With that, I turned around and walked out of the room, slamming the door behind me. I went back to my bedroom, packed my bags, and called a taxi. I was done with this trip. I was done with Chloe. And honestly, I was starting to feel done with my mom and Tom too, for always enabling her behavior. When Mom and Tom came back to the beach house later that afternoon, they found me waiting outside with my suitcase. Mom looked surprised. "Emma, what are you doing?" she asked. "Where are you going?" "I'm going home," I said simply. "I'm done with this trip. Done." Mom said, confused, "But it's your birthday weekend. We have dinner reservations tonight, and we were going to go mini golfing tomorrow." "Yeah, well, I'm not going," I said. "Chloe ruined it, like she always does." Mom sighed. "Emma, please don't be like this," she said. "Chloe didn't ruin anything. She just wasn't feeling well, and you overreacted." "I overreacted," I repeated, incredulous. "Mom, seriously, are you really going to defend her again? After everything that happened?" "But Mom," Chloe whined, appearing at the doorway of the beach house. "Emma is being mean to me again. She's yelling at me." "Oh, honey," Mom said, immediately going to Chloe's side and putting her arm around her. "It's okay, sweetie. Emma is just upset." "Upset," I said, my voice rising again. "Upset. Mom, I'm beyond upset. I'm furious. I'm leaving, and I don't know when I'll be back." I picked up my suitcase and started walking towards the taxi that had just pulled up. Mom and Tom followed me, still trying to convince me to stay, but I was done. I got in the taxi, waved goodbye, and left. The taxi ride home was long and quiet. I just stared out the window, watching the scenery go by, trying to process everything that had happened. I felt a mix of emotions: anger, sadness, frustration, and a strange sense of relief. Relief that I was finally away from Chloe and the constant drama. Relief that I had finally stood up for myself, even if it meant upsetting my mom. When I got home, I unpacked my suitcase and took a long, hot shower. I felt exhausted, both physically and emotionally. I ordered pizza for dinner and curled up on the couch to watch TV. It was quiet and peaceful in my apartment. A stark contrast to the chaos of the beach house. Later that evening, my mom called. I almost didn't answer, but I knew I had to talk to her eventually, so I picked up the phone. "Emma, honey, are you okay?" Mom asked, her voice sounding genuinely concerned. "Yeah, Mom, I'm fine," I said a little flatly, "just tired." "I'm really sorry about what happened," Mom said. "I didn't mean for your birthday to be ruined." "I know, Mom," I said. "It's not your fault exactly, it's just Chloe," Mom sighed. "I know Chloe can be a little much sometimes," she admitted, "but she's still young, and she's sensitive. You need to be more patient with her." "Patient?" I said, my voice rising again. "Mom, I have been patient with her for years, years. And it never gets better, it just gets worse. She's not sensitive, Mom, she's spoiled. And you and Tom are the ones who spoiled her." "Emma, don't talk about your stepdad like that," Mom said, her voice hardening again. "He's a good man. And we love Chloe very much. Just like we love you." "Love me?" I said, scoffing. "It doesn't feel like it, Mom. It really doesn't. It feels like you always take Chloe's side no matter what. It feels like you always prioritize her feelings over mine." "That's not true, Emma," Mom said defensively. "I love you both equally." "Equally?" I said, laughing humorlessly. "Mom, please, we both know that's not true. Chloe can do no wrong in your eyes and Tom's eyes, but me. I'm always the one who's wrong. I'm always the one who's overreacting. I'm always the one who needs to be more understanding." "Emma, that's not fair," Mom said, her voice starting to sound strained. "I try my best to be fair to both of you." "No, Mom, you don't," I said, my voice shaking. "You try your best to keep Chloe happy, even if it means making me miserable, and I'm done with it. I'm really done." There was silence on the other end of the phone. Then Mom said in a very quiet voice, "So, what are you saying, Emma?" "I'm saying," I said, taking a deep breath, "that I need some space. I need some time away from all of you. I can't keep doing this. It's too much. It's too draining. It's too painful." Mom was silent again for a moment. Then she said, "Okay, Emma, I understand if that's what you need." Yeah, Mom, it is, I said. It really is. I just need some time to myself to figure things out. Okay, honey, Mom said softly. I love you, Emma. I love you too, Mom, I said, even though it felt a little hollow at that moment. We hung up the phone. I sat on the couch, feeling drained but also strangely lighter, like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. I had finally said what I needed to say. I had finally set a boundary. It was scary, but it also felt right. I spent the rest of the weekend at home, just relaxing and recharging. I watched movies, read books, took long walks in the park, and spent time with my friends. It was exactly what I needed. I didn't talk to Mom or Tom or Chloe at all, and honestly it was kind of nice, peaceful, quiet. A few days later I got a text message from Chloe. I almost ignored it, but curiosity got the better of me and I opened it. It just said, "Hey, are you still mad at me?" I stared at the text message for a long time. Still mad? Was that all she got out of this whole situation? Still mad? It wasn't about being mad. It was about so much more than that. I typed back a reply. "It's not about being mad, Chloe," I wrote. "It's about respect and consideration and fairness, and you never seem to understand any of those things." She replied almost immediately. "Wow, okay, harsh much?" I said I was sorry, didn't I? "Sorry," I texted back. "When did you say you were sorry? I don't remember hearing any apology." "Okay, fine, I'm saying sorry now," she texted. "Are you happy? Can we just move on?" "Move on," I typed back. "No, Chloe, we can't just move on, because this keeps happening. Over and over again. And nothing ever changes, you never change, and Mom and Tom never make you change." She didn't reply for a while. Then finally she texted back. "So what do you want me to do, Emma? Seriously, tell me. What do you want me to do to make you happy?" I thought about that for a moment. What did I want her to do? What could she possibly do to make me happy? It wasn't about making me happy. It was about her changing her behavior. It was about her taking responsibility for her actions. It was about her showing some genuine remorse. I typed back a long reply. "I don't need you to make me happy, Chloe," I wrote. "I need you to be a decent person. I need you to stop being so selfish and entitled. I need you to start thinking about other people's feelings, not just your own. I need you to understand that the world doesn't revolve around you. And I need you to actually apologize, a real apology. Not just saying sorry to get me off your back. A real apology that shows you actually understand what you did wrong and that you're actually sorry for it. Can you do that, Chloe? Can you actually do that?" I waited, holding my breath, for her reply. Minutes ticked by. I thought maybe she wasn't going to reply at all. Then finally my phone buzzed with a new message. "Okay," Chloe's text said. "Okay, Emma, I get it, I'm sorry. Really sorry. I was being a brat on the beach, and at the beach house. And probably for a lot longer than just this weekend. I know I can be selfish sometimes. Okay, a lot of times. And I know I don't always think about how my actions affect other people, and I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for ruining your birthday, I didn't mean to. Well, maybe a little part of me did, but I shouldn't have, and I will try to be better, I promise. Is that good enough?" I read her text message over and over again. Was it a real apology? It was surprisingly close. It wasn't perfect, but it was definitely better than anything I had ever gotten from her before. It actually sounded somewhat sincere, and she admitted she knew she was being selfish. That was a huge step for her. I typed back. "Yeah, Chloe," I wrote, "that's actually pretty good. Thank you, I appreciate that." She replied immediately with a bunch of emojis. Folded hands, smiling face with smiling eyes, party popper. Then she texted, "So, does this mean you're not still mad at me? Can we be friends now?" I smiled a little. Friends. Maybe that was pushing it, but maybe we could at least try to be civil. Maybe we could start to build a slightly less toxic relationship. I typed back. "Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Chloe," I wrote. "But maybe we can start over. Maybe we can try to be less awful to each other." She replied with another string of emojis and then, "Just tell me when you're ready to come back to the beach house. Mom made your favorite cookies." I laughed a little. Cookies. Okay, maybe things were actually starting to change. Maybe, just maybe, there was a glimmer of hope for our stepfamily after all. Update 1. Wow, Reddit, I can't believe how many comments and upvotes my story received. Thank you all so much for your support and advice. It really helped me to feel less alone and more validated in my feelings. So many of you said I was NTA, and that Chloe and my mom and Tom were enabling her behavior, and it was really reassuring to hear that I wasn't just overreacting. A lot of you also suggested that I needed to have a serious conversation with my mom about the favoritism and how it was affecting me, and you were right. After a few days of space, I decided to call my mom again and try to have that conversation. I called her last night, and it was actually surprisingly productive. I started by thanking her for calling and saying that I appreciated her concern. Then I told her that I wanted to talk about Chloe and the situation on my birthday trip. I said, "Mom, I know you love Chloe, and I know you want us all to get along. But I need you to understand that Chloe's behavior is really hurtful to me. And it's not just about this one trip. It's been going on for years. I feel like you and Tom always take her side, no matter what. And it makes me feel like you don't value my feelings or my opinions." Mom listened quietly for a while, and then she said, "Emma, I didn't realize you felt that way. I'm sorry. I really am. I never meant to make you feel like I don't value you. I love you very much, honey, and I want you to be happy." I said, "Mom, I know you love me, but sometimes it doesn't feel like it. It feels like you always put Chloe first. Like she's the priority, and I'm just secondary." Mom sighed. "I know I've probably spoiled Chloe a little bit," she admitted. "Tom and we just want her to be happy. She's had some tough times in her life, you know, and we just want to make things easy for her." I said, "Mom, I understand that you want to make things easy for her, but it shouldn't be at my expense, and it shouldn't be by enabling her bad behavior. She needs to learn to be responsible for her actions. She needs to learn to be considerate of other people. And you and Tom are not helping her by always letting her get away with everything." Mom was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "You're right, Emma. You're right. We have been too lenient with Chloe, and we haven't been fair to you. I'm really sorry. We will try to do better, I promise." I was actually shocked to hear her say that. I didn't expect her to admit that she was wrong, but she did, and it felt really good to hear. I said, "Mom, thank you. That means a lot to me. I just want us to have a better relationship. All of us. I want to be able to spend time with you and Tom and Chloe without feeling like I'm walking on eggshells, or that I'm always going to be the one who gets the short end of the stick." Mom said, "I want that too, Emma, and we will work on it. We will talk to Chloe, we will set some boundaries, we will try to be more fair to you, just give us a chance." I said, "Okay, Mom, I will. But I need to see some real changes, not just words, actions." Mom said, "You will, honey, you will. And I really am sorry for how things have been, and I'm sorry your birthday was ruined. We'll make it up to you, I promise." After talking to Mom, I actually felt a lot better. It wasn't a perfect conversation, and I know things won't change overnight, but it felt like a step in the right direction, and Chloe's text messages also gave me a little bit of hope. Maybe, just maybe, things can get better. Maybe we can actually become a real family, instead of just a collection of people living under the same roof who tolerate each other at best. I'm still going to take things slow. I'm still going to keep my distance for a little while, but I'm willing to give them another chance. I'm willing to see if they can actually change. For my sake, and for my mom's sake, and maybe, just maybe, even for Chloe's sake. So Reddit, thank you again for all your advice and support. It really made a difference. I'll keep you updated on how things progress, and hopefully next time I'll have even more positive news to share. What do you think? Am I wrong to give them another chance, or am I being too optimistic? Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit the notification bell to stay updated on more shocking real-life stories happening around you.